On March 26, 1980, at 2:15 a.m., 320 kilometers off the coast of Norway, 212 people working on an oil rig had no idea that the next 90 seconds would change their lives forever. The Alexander L. Kelland was not just the name of an oil rig, it was a floating city weighing 10,000 tons, as large as 5 football fields. Engineers had said it was stable, unbreakable, invincible. But that night, the North Sea revealed its true nature. One sudden jolt, just one, and the massive 10,000-ton structure capsized within 15 minutes. 123 people were buried alive beneath the sea. And this was not an isolated incident. In the past 100 years, the North Sea has swallowed more than 800 ships. Thousands of bodies still lie buried in its depths. Today, I'm taking you on a journey into one of the most dangerous seas in the world. This is not just a story, it's a warning. First, let's understand what the North Sea actually is. Look at the map of Europe. Between Britain and Norway lies a vast body of water. That's the North Sea. It covers about 570,000 square kilometers, large enough to fit an entire country like France inside it. But its danger does not come from its size. It comes from its depth. Its average depth is only about 95 meters, not very deep. So why is it so dangerous? The answer lies in its geography. The North Sea is surrounded by land on 3 sides: Norway to the north and east, Denmark and Germany to the southeast, and Britain to the west. It is only open to the Atlantic Ocean in the north. When powerful Atlantic waves enter this narrow opening, they become trapped in the shallow basin. The waves collide, bounce, and interfere with one another, forming rogue waves, monstrous walls of water that can reach heights of 20 to 30 meters, as tall as a 10-story building. The most terrifying part? They appear without warning. And then there's the weather. From October to March, winter turns the North Sea into a battlefield. Arctic winds blow at speeds of 120 kilometers per hour. Temperatures drop to -15 degrees Celsius. Storms form suddenly. Visibility disappears in dense fog. Ice floes drift across the surface. A calm morning can turn into a deadly storm by afternoon. That's why the North Sea is often called the graveyard of ships. History proves it. On January 28, 1953, one of Europe's deadliest natural disasters struck, the North Sea flood of 1953. Winds reached 160 kilometers per hour. Waves rose 40 feet high. But the real devastation came when storm surges smashed into the coasts of the Netherlands and England. Seawalls, once believed to be unbreakable, collapsed like paper. In a single night, 2,551 people died. Over 72,000 were left homeless. Entire villages were erased. Counting the bodies became nearly impossible in some areas. But natural disasters are only part of the story. Human error has made things worse. On July 6, 1988, the Piper Alpha oil platform, once the world's largest oil-producing rig, exploded after a gas leak ignited. The blast was heard 150 kilometers away. Flames shot 150 meters into the air. The surrounding sea burned. Workers faced a horrifying choice: burn alive or jump 50 meters into a sea covered in burning oil. 167 men died that night. Many bodies were never recovered. And yet, despite all this, thousands still work in the North Sea today. Why? Oil and gas. In the 1960s, massive petroleum reserves were discovered beneath the North Sea. Countries like the United Kingdom, Norway, Denmark, and the Netherlands rushed to claim their share. Today, the region produces millions of barrels of oil daily and supplies roughly a quarter of Europe's energy needs. Norway became one of the world's largest oil exporters, largely because of these reserves. But this wealth comes at a cost. Oil rigs stand 100 to 150 meters above freezing waters. Workers spend 2 to 4 weeks at a time offshore, isolated on steel islands surrounded by danger. A 2015 survey found that 89% of North Sea oil workers would not recommend the job to their children. Studies show high levels of stress, anxiety, insomnia, and depression among workers. Divorce rates are significantly higher than average. Many say they miss watching their children grow up. And then there's the environmental damage. Over the past 60 years, thousands of tons of oil, chemicals, and industrial waste have entered the sea. Hundreds of abandoned oil rigs and pipelines remain underwater, many still leaking. Thousands of kilometers of aging pipeline infrastructure lie corroding on the seabed. Fish populations have collapsed. Cod stocks have dropped dramatically compared to historic levels. Seabirds are found each year coated in oil. The ecosystem has suffered deeply. Climate change is making things worse. The North Sea has warmed significantly over the past 4 decades. Sea levels are rising. Storm intensity is expected to increase. Low-lying coastal regions in countries like the Netherlands and Belgium face growing flood risks. Yes, European nations are now building offshore wind farms, some of the largest in the world in the North Sea. But the question remains, can decades of damage truly be reversed? The North Sea is not just a body of water. It is a lesson, a warning, a reminder of what happens when human ambition collides with nature's power. The question is, will we learn from it? Or will history repeat itself elsewhere, in the Arabian Sea, the Bay of Bengal, the Pacific?